Hello, and welcome to the primary bedroom at my parents' house. So it's probably been about 10 years, I believe, since this room has had any sort of paint or anything done to it. So there's definitely some nicks and things that needed to be fixed up anyway. So we're gonna give this room a whole fresh new coat of paint, a new color that I'm hoping looks decidedly different than the current color, but I'm worried, so stay tuned for that. The furniture is something they didn't want to change up because it's like a solid wood set and it's still in really great condition. It needs a little bit of touching up here and there, but other than that, it looks great. So one of the biggest challenges for me was picking the color for this room because of the very red furniture. Initially, my mom thought an off-white color would be really nice. My dad prefers, the cats are running around like maniacs. Hello? Why? My dad prefers it a little bit darker, so kind of in the same tonal value that it already is in. So we had to sort of find a good happy medium for that. And so I settled on this color, which is Perfect Greige by Sherwin-Williams. I'm a little bit concerned. Let me show you why. So here's my concern. Here's the paint swatch and here's the ball. Now, I can definitely see in person, and I don't know how it's coming off in camera. Oop. But these colors are very similar. However, I can tell that this one is a decent amount warmer, which is what we were going for. And I think it's gonna look really great with the wood tones, helping to tone them down a little bit and just helps the wood to look a little bit more neutral. So obviously I've already done some prep work here and I need to sand the space and then we can get started with painting. If you're like, what the heck is all that? One time a cat got stuck behind the bed and destroyed the wall.
I wish we could speak the truth. I wish we could start over. I wish we could make the rules. And I wish that we could be better. I keep asking what's the use. Maybe we'll know when we get older. Wish I didn't care about you. Oh, I wish I didn't. Oh, I wish I didn't.
I painted the whole room and it feels nearly identical to what it already was. And this is what I get for not doing a swatch, doing a test, looking at the color in the room. I only had a teeny tiny swatch and yeah. I will admit, it is definitely a warmer color than it was before, but it's just not what we were going for. And while in theory, this color works well with the wood tones that we have, it doesn't create the overall feeling that specifically my mom wanted to go with in this room, which was a lot more cozy and a lot more warm. This is the new color. It's called Embassy Green by Benjamin Moore. And I will document the fact that I did actually swatch the color this time. I gotta get painting. I'm literally a week behind at this point on this project. Let's just snap to it all finished and beautiful, okay? Okay, so the room is painted. I love this color so much more. I only had to do one coat, which is a huge bonus. So now we're gonna need to put everything back together, all the covers back on, the switches and the plugins. We need to push the furniture back so I can really start to bring this whole thing together. Let's hope this is nice and level. Looks really good. And is this level up here? Not quite as level, but I'm gonna go with level on the window. But I did it. Let's make sure it looks good. Oh, I think that looks really nice. Now, there's an elephant in the room if you haven't noticed, and it is that TV. It's really, really big. However, it's not my room, it's their room, and this is the TV that they wanted. So that's gonna stay. So I'm trying to work around that. Ideally, it would be a little bit smaller so I would have more even space on both sides of the window, but that's just not what we're working with. Anyway, we're done this part. I'm in my garage now and I'm gonna start working on the bench. This bench has been through the ringer with the cats. They've really scratched it up. So what I'm hoping to do today is to unupholster it. So take everything off, see what we're dealing with on the inside. I might need to add some support so that it doesn't sag in the center. And then I'm actually gonna be covering it with drop cloth because this is a really cheap way to get some sturdy fabric. If you're ever gonna do upholstery projects, I have a couple of tools to recommend. These are the 3 main tools we used in the upholstery shop I worked in. So one of them is this staple remover tool. You need some side cutters to remove the staples. And then a little hammer like this works really well for hammering in staples that you can't quite get out. And then of course, a good upholstery stapler is ideal, but whatever stapler you can get works too. Now these legs have gotten a little marked up over the years, so I'm gonna give them a quick, just little bit of a sand and then just spray them with some spray paint, just satin black. I attempted to paint the legs black, but all of my little sanding marks were showing right through, I think because these legs are not wood, they're like a plastic or something. So I ended up creating my own faux wood finish. I didn't film it because I didn't know if it was gonna turn out. In retrospect, I should have just filmed it. So there it is. I'll show you in detail later, but I need to move on to the foam. And then we ordered this tablecloth, actually, a thick cotton tablecloth that was the perfect size for me to create a slip cover to go over top of the bench. And I think it'll work really well. All right, these are the original frames from my parents' bedroom, and they're just plain black. I want to do them gold just to add another element in the room. And the furniture is so dark that I think this will help brighten up the space. So I'm gonna be using Rub and Buff, and I saw someone on Pinterest using a makeup brush to apply it, so I'm gonna try that today. And I put an elastic band on it so that it would just sort of bring the bristles together a little bit more because it was a really big brush. And then I am gonna go in with the antique gold first, then the gold leaf, and then I have a spray paint to just sort of lightly spray over the whole thing so that there's not too much black showing through, but there is a bit to give it a more vintage look. So this is what I am aiming for. This is the first one I did. I'm not sure if it comes through on camera, but there's a little bit of variation in the color. You can see a little bit of black showing through, and I think that looks better than just painting it one solid color.
Can we go back to what it was before? Like a bad things never came to us. Oh, I want to make it all go away. Yeah, like time never rained, never runs. Can we go back and figure out it all? Yeah, 'cause I can't find a way out.
I'm really happy with the way that these turned out. The frames look more vintage, the art in it is gonna add some color in here, and it's just a more relaxing kind of vibe. arrived at finishing day and I literally have to get this room done today because my mom gets home tonight from vacation. So we've got to wrap this thing up. I ended up spending a lot of time refreshing the furniture in here. Okay, you're gonna have to ignore my dog's barking, but I'm using some Restorer finish. And I just want to show you what it does to this section. So look at that. So it's all scratched up. And then once I rub this in, this stuff is great. It's not gonna fix everything, but it's really refreshing all of this furniture, which is super nice because there's no way it's getting refinished completely. While there's a few spots that you can still see the age of the furniture, I'm so happy with how new everything looks, and it just helps the whole room look new and fresh again. I want to make sure everything just looks really pristine when my mom sees this. I'm so excited. Okay, let's get to work. Okay, so before you open your eyes, remind me what your bedroom looked like before.
Oh, the walls are gray. There was a plaid blanket that did not really go with anything, and there's a lot of clutter. Just blinds on the window, nothing spectacular, just sort of a mishmash of things.
Okay, are you ready to see it?
Yes.
Okay, open your eyes in 3, 2, 1, open.
Oh, wow, it's so warm. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. The color is amazing. It's so perfect. Oh, and you got my art. Can I walk around?
Yes, you can walk around.
Oh, and the pictures. Oh my goodness. Oh, and that. Oh, and the curtains. What a difference that makes. Oh, and you covered the bench. This was a disaster. Oh, that looks so good. Wow. Oh, it is so gorgeous. And I love that. Like, that just adds so much. It's so nice to have a lamp there. Oh, it looks so good, Janelle.
Do you
oh
also
my gosh.
look at your dresser?
Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. What a difference.
It like looks new now.
It does. Like, it was so scratched up everywhere. And up here, like, it was awful. Oh, it looks so good. And the gold frames on there is just amazing.